Okay, class. This is an example of a problem for introductory chemistry to help with problems that have mixed addition, subtraction, and division, how you manipulate the decimal places and the significant figures as you walk along. So on the left here, we are going to solve this problem with a method called final rounding at the end, partial rounding in intermediate steps. So as we saw from one step to another, we'll be rounding, but partially, and we'll only do the final rounding at the end. Then on the right, we'll do the final rounding at every step, and we will see the difference in both answers. Okay. So the question is 34.123 plus 4.60, all of that divided by 98.7654 minus 5.312. So when you follow PEMDAS, you start with parentheses. So we have parentheses in the numerator and parentheses in the denominator. So let's start by solving the parentheses in the numerator, okay? Now this is addition. For addition, we go with decimal places. So here we have 3 digits after the decimal. So we have 3 decimal places here. And 4.60, we have 2 digits after the decimal. So we have 2 decimal places here. So the minimum between 3 and 2 is 2 decimal places. Okay. All right. So you take your calculator and do 34.123 plus 4.60. It is going to give us 38.723. Now, our significant digits will only end up to 2 decimal places because 2 is the minimum. So it will be 38.72. However, this is not our final answer. So we include 1 extra digit. Just 1 extra digit is enough. Okay, that is what we call partial rounding in the intermediate step. However, when we continue, we are only going to count our significant figures ending right here with these 2. The 3 is extra. This extra digit is going to make our answer more accurate. So 38.723 is more accurate than 38.72. So this extra digit does not contribute to the significant figures. It only increases the accuracy. Then we go to the denominator, 98.7654 minus 5.312. So 98.7654, we have 4 decimal places there. And 5.312, we have 3 decimal places there. So the minimum is in the denominator is 3 decimal places. So enter this subtraction in your calculator, and you are going to have 93.4534 and so on. Okay. But we write it up to 3 decimal places, which will be 93.453. And then the digit in our calculator that comes after 3 is 4. So we include that 4 to make the denominator more accurate. However, our significant figures will only end at a 3rd decimal place. Okay. So then the next step is division. In division, we go with significant figures. Remember, our decimal places from the first step end at 2, and that gives us 4 significant figures in the numerator And our decimal places in the denominator from the first step ends at 3 right here, this second 3. And that gives us 5 significant figures. 5SF. So we have 4 significant figures in the numerator, 5 significant figures in the denominator. That means our final answer should be to 4 significant figures. So go ahead now, enter 38.723, not 38.72, 38.723 divided by 93.4534. In our calculator, it's going to give us 0.414356 and so on. Now our final answer must be limited to the least number of sig figs, which is 4. And the fourth sig fig ends right here on the 3. So we can round the 3 up to 4 because we have 5 or more in the following digit. So our final answer then will be 0.4144. So final rounding at the end, 0.4144. Okay, if somebody did not do that, they say, I want to round, I want to do my final rounding at every step. Okay, so then the numerator is 34.123 plus 4.60. So we have 3 decimal places here and 2 decimal places here. So we do the addition and we limit the numerator to 2 decimal places, 38.72. Okay. Now this is 2 decimal places. And then we go to the denominator. We have 4 decimal places here for GP. And 5.312, we have 3 decimal places. So the minimum is 3 decimal places. Then we enter that subtraction in our calculator. And we write our answer just to 3 decimal places, 93.453. Okay, so we round it finally at every step. Now we go to division, which goes with significant figures. So we have 4 significant figures in the numerator. We have 5 significant figures in the denominator. And we do the division, 38.72 divided by 93.453. It will give us 0.414329 and so on and so forth. But our answer has to be to 4 significant figures. So that means we should end right here. So the next digit after 3 is less than 5. So that means we cannot round up this 3. Instead, we leave it as it is. So this final answer will round down to 0.4143. Now you see that it is slightly different from the first answer that we got. Okay, it is slightly different. The correct answer is 0.4144. That is the correct answer. And this other answer is not correct. The difference here is just slight. I have seen a problem where if you apply this final rounding at the end, you can have a difference in answer of up to 1 whole number. So it can even be more serious. It is good to do your final rounding only at the end. In your intermediate steps, include just 1 extra digit so as to increase the accuracy in your final answer. 1 extra digit is enough. I hope this helps you. My name is Dr. Julius Ngwensen.